It's the 2023 Stanley Cup Finals. We started with 16 teams and now we're down to 2. The Florida Panthers versus the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Who will lift the Stanley Cup? Welcome back to EDI Sports Cards. We are doing a full preview of the Stanley Cup Finals between the Las Vegas Golden Knights and the Florida Panthers. So I want to appreciate and say thank you for joining us. So let's get right into it. Let's look at what this series is going to be. So in this video, we're actually going to go over the key to the series. We're then going to do the Golden Knights preview, Florida Panther preview, and then a prediction. So stay tuned to the very end to see who I think is going to win this Stanley Cup final in 2023. All right, so let's go into the keys to this series. All right, so we've got a few keys. First, we've got goaltending. Then we've got Matthew Tkachuk, and we got penalties. So let's first do goaltending. Why do I think this is a big key? Now, obviously, everybody's like, well, goaltending is always the big thing in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But actually, in this series in particular, the Golden Knights have a backup goaltender as their starter, because the Golden Knights had their, front, basically their starting goaltender got hurt in the second round. And so Adin Hill has been carrying the torch for the Golden Knights through to the Stanley Cup Finals. And if he continues to play the way that he's playing, I think this is a really good shot for the Golden Knights to win their first Stanley Cup. Now, Matthew Tkachuk, there's not enough said about Matthew Tkachuk, but he has really emerged as an NHL superstar through the 2023 playoffs. He is outstanding, and we're going to go into that more when we do the Florida Panther preview. So just stay tuned. We'll talk about Matthew Tkachuk in a sec. And then the penalties. I don't know if you're aware, but basically the Golden Knights were the least penalized team in the regular season in 2023, and Florida was the second most penalized team in 2023. So this is going to actually play out in the playoffs in this finals. So if Florida continues to take penalties and give Golden Knights power play opportunities, it might be a very long series for the Panthers. Now, if they don't take penalties, then I don't know if the Golden Knights have enough to overcome the offensive power of the Panthers. All right, so let's go over the Las Vegas Golden Knights. So here we go. We're going to start with Adin Hill. Now, just so you are aware how good Adin Hill has played, he has a 2.07 goals against average in the games he's played. He's faced 333 total shots, and he's made 312 saves. That gives him a save percentage of .937. Folks, .937, that's called like Vezina winning percentage. Like, that is outstanding. And he's also had 2 shutouts so far in his games played. So he has played unbelievably, which has given the Golden Knights the opportunity to now play for the Cup. Now, the other thing which we talked about, they are the least penalized team in the regular season. So they don't take a lot of unforced errors. They don't take penalties in the offensive zone. If they continue to play that way, not taking bad penalties, then Florida's not going to get that advantage where Tkachuk can really just stand in front of the net and just score at will. That is a big key to this series. So just to give you an understanding, the Golden Knights have had a few players that have really stepped up. So you have Jack Eichel, who has 6 goals, 12 assists. He leads the team with 18 points. And you also have Jonathan Marchessault, who also put in 9 goals. But the keys to this series are these 2 other players. William Karlsson, who's had 10 goals and 4 assists, as well as Ivan Barbashev, who has 6 goals and 9 assists. Las Vegas has depth. That means 4 lines. So not just Jack Eichel, not just Marchessault, not just Stone, but we're also talking about Barbashev and Karlsson. So Florida has a lot of lines and a lot to do in this series. Like, they're going to have to forecheck, play defense, 3 ends of the ice. They're going to need to make sure that they know where everyone is, not give up odd man rushes. Like, Las Vegas has a lot of depth. So this is going to be a tough series for Florida, but we'll see how they do. Now, let's move over to the Florida Panthers and see what they've got going on. And so the keys to the Florida Panthers, obviously we're talking about Matthew Tkachuk. He's got 9 goals, 12 assists, leads the team with 21 points. He has just been all over the place and the major reason why they are in the Stanley Cup Finals. Now, they are the second most penalized team in the regular season. Like I said, they take a lot of bad penalties. Tkachuk is one of them. He just takes penalties for no reason. So if Florida continues to take bad penalties, that's just going to give the Vegas Golden Knights just too many opportunities to score, and it's going to be a real problem. Now, the other thing, so there's a couple players on Florida that you need to be aware of. You have Anthony Duclair. You also have Carter Verhaeghe. He scored 6 goals and 9 assists, but these two players have definitely put in their contributions, and they're veterans. So they've been around the NHL. It's not like they're newcomers. So you have Alexander Barkov, who has got 4 goals and 10 assists, and you also have Sam Reinhart, who has 7 goals and 4 assists. They're the core. So if they play well, Florida has a lot of firepower. They just have to play 5-on-5 hockey. I don't know what else to say. If Florida doesn't stay out of the penalty box, it's going to be a tough series for them. So, you want my prediction? You ready? Here we go. I think this series will be done in 6 games. Therefore, the winner will be 4-2, and my winner is the Florida Panthers. That's it. That's what I think. I think the Florida Panthers just have too much offense, and I don't know if Adin Hill's going to be able to stand on his head the way that he has against all these other teams. Florida forechecks better than any other team that Vegas has faced. Florida just has more firepower. If Las Vegas takes any penalties and gives power play opportunities, I think that Florida will take advantage of those. I just think there's going to be a little bit of an edge to Florida in each game, and therefore I think that overall, I mean, obviously it's not going to be a sweep. It's going to go 6, but I think Florida will win out the Stanley Cup, and Las Vegas, unfortunately, will be looking for their first Stanley Cup win another year. So, thank you for joining. I hope you enjoy the series. Thank you for coming to this channel. If you like sports and sports cards, this is the place to be. I'll see you in the next video.